Arguments at home, financial pressure, misunderstandings with the people you love, and slowly, it feels like your whole world is falling apart. But here's the truth most people never realize. Family struggles don't have to break you. They can build you. In this video, you'll discover 5 powerful solutions that can help you stay strong, even when your family is going through the hardest times. And the first one might completely change the way you see your problems. 1. Control your mindset. Have you ever felt like your family problems are too heavy to carry? Arguments at home, financial struggles, misunderstandings between the people you love the most. Sometimes it feels like the place that should give you peace becomes the place that gives you the most stress. And when that happens, something dangerous begins to grow in your mind. Thoughts like, everything is falling apart. My life will never get better. Why is this happening to my family? But here is a powerful truth most people never realize. Your problems do not decide your future. Your mindset does. Because when family problems happen, your thoughts can either make you stronger or they can slowly break you from the inside. 2 people can face the exact same family struggle. One becomes bitter, angry, and hopeless. The other becomes strong, patient, and wise. What is the difference? It is not luck. It is not money. It is not the situation. It is mindset. Your mindset is the invisible force that decides whether problems destroy you or develop you. When your mind says, I can't handle this, your energy disappears. But when your mind says, this is difficult, but I will overcome it, something powerful wakes up inside you. Strength, courage, resilience. Think about this for a moment. Every strong person you admire has faced difficult family situations. Some grew up in homes filled with conflict. Some experienced poverty. Some carried responsibilities at a young age. But they discovered something powerful. They realized they could not always control their environment, but they could always control their mindset. And that changed everything. Because the moment you control your mindset, you begin to control your life. Family problems may create noise around you. Arguments may happen. Stress may appear. But your mind does not have to become a battlefield. You can choose a different response. Instead of saying, my family is broken, tell yourself, my family is going through a difficult season. Seasons change. Storms pass. Nothing in life stays the same forever. The mistake many people make is believing their current situation is permanent. But the truth is, most problems are temporary. What lasts longer than the problem is the mindset you build during it. If you build a mindset of strength, you will carry that strength for the rest of your life. But if you build a mindset of defeat, even small problems will feel impossible. This is why controlling your mindset is so important, because your thoughts shape your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your future. Let me tell you something powerful. You may not be able to control your family members. You may not be able to stop every argument. You may not be able to solve every problem overnight. But you can always control one thing, the way you think, and that is more powerful than you realize, because the strongest people in the world are not those with perfect families. They are those who learn to stay strong even when their families struggled. They refuse to let negativity control their minds. They trained their thoughts like warriors. When negativity appeared, they replaced it with determination. When doubt appeared, they replaced it with belief. When fear appeared, they replaced it with courage. That is the power of mindset. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of hopelessness, worry, and negativity, those seeds will grow. But if you plant seeds of strength, patience, and determination, those seeds will grow instead. The garden grows whatever you plant. So the question is simple. What are you planting in your mind today? Are you planting thoughts that weaken you or thoughts that strengthen you? Because every powerful life begins with a powerful mindset. And sometimes the strongest decision you can make is simply this: I will not allow my problems to control my mind. You may feel pressure, you may feel pain, but you refuse to give up. You refuse to let negativity define your future. You refuse to let a difficult moment destroy your confidence. Instead, you choose growth. You choose resilience. You choose strength. And when you do that, something incredible happens. The same problems that once felt like mountains become lessons. The same struggles that once made you feel weak start building your character. The same challenges that once made you feel lost begin guiding you toward your purpose, because mindset transforms everything. It transforms pain into wisdom. It transforms pressure into power. It transforms struggle into strength. So the next time family problems appear, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of this truth. This situation does not control me. My mindset controls how I respond. This challenge is not here to destroy me. It is here to make me stronger. And when you live with that mindset, you become unstoppable. Not because life becomes easy, but because your mind becomes stronger than the problem. And that is where real power begins. 2. Focus on what you can control. Sometimes the hardest battles in life happen inside our own homes. Arguments, misunderstandings, financial pressure, different personalities living under the same roof of family problems can make you feel trapped. You may try to fix everything. You may try to make everyone happy. You may try to solve every conflict. But sooner or later, you discover a painful truth. You cannot control everyone. You cannot control every situation. You cannot control how other people think, speak, or behave. And the more you try to control everything, the more exhausted you become. Many people lose their peace because they are fighting battles they cannot win. They try to control someone else's emotions. They try to control someone else's decisions. They try to control someone else's attitude. But that is not where your power lives. Your power lives somewhere else. Your power lives in what you can control. And when you understand this, your life becomes lighter and stronger at the same time. Because the truth is simple. You cannot control the storm, but you can control how you stand in the rain. Think about that for a moment. You cannot control someone else's anger, but you can control your response. You cannot control someone else's negativity, but you can control your mindset. You cannot control every problem in your family, but you can control your attitude, your actions, and your decisions. And those three things are incredibly powerful. Your attitude, your actions, your decisions. When life becomes chaotic, these three things become your anchor. Imagine two people in the same family struggle. The first person spends every day complaining. They focus on what everyone else is doing wrong. They repeat the same thoughts. This will never change. My family is the problem. Nothing will ever get better. Slowly, negativity takes over their life. Now imagine another person in the same situation. They face the same challenges, the same stress, the same difficult conversations, but they make a different choice. They say to themselves, I cannot control everything, but I can control who I become in this situation. That is where real strength begins. Because focusing on what you can control gives you back your power. Instead of wasting energy on frustration, you invest energy in improvement. Instead of worrying about things outside your control, you build strength inside your control, and that changes everything. Let me share something powerful. Energy is like money. You only have a limited amount each day. If you spend your energy trying to control people you cannot change, you will feel drained. But if you invest your energy in things you can improve, your life will slowly transform. You can improve your patience. You can improve your communication. You can improve your self-discipline. You can improve your ability to stay calm in difficult moments. These are powerful skills, and they start with one simple decision. Stop fighting battles that are not yours to control. Because when you stop trying to control everything, You create space for growth. You begin asking better questions. Instead of asking, "Why is my family like this?" you begin asking, "What kind of person do I want to become in this situation?" Instead of asking, "Why can't people change?" you begin asking, "How can I grow stronger?" This shift in thinking is life-changing. Because strong people focus on what they can build, weak thinking focuses on what cannot be changed. Think about great leaders. Think about great athletes. Think about people who overcame incredible challenges. They all learned the same lesson. They focused their energy where it mattered. They did not waste their strength on things outside their control. And you can do the same. Maybe your family situation is difficult right now. Maybe there are arguments. Maybe there are misunderstandings. Maybe things feel heavy. But even in the middle of that storm, you still have control over something powerful. Your character, your discipline, your mindset, your growth. And when you focus on these things, something amazing happens. You become the calm in the chaos. You become the strength in the struggle. You become the example others can follow. Sometimes the most powerful change in a family begins with one person deciding to grow. One person choosing patience instead of anger. One person choosing understanding instead of judgment. One person choosing growth instead of blame. That person could be you. But it begins with one commitment. A commitment to focus your energy wisely. A commitment to stop worrying about what you cannot control. And a commitment to become stronger every day. Because at the end of the day, your future will not be built by the things you worry about. It will be built by the things you take action on. So when family problems appear again, remember this truth. You cannot control every situation, but you can control your response. You can control your effort. You can control the kind of person you choose to become. And when you focus on those things, you unlock a powerful kind of freedom. The freedom to grow. The freedom to stay strong. The freedom to rise above the chaos. And that is how strong people are built. Not by controlling everything around them, but by mastering what is within them. So today, make a powerful decision. Stop chasing control over everything. Start focusing on the things that truly matter, your attitude, your actions, your decisions. Because when you master those three things, no problem in your family will ever be strong enough to break you. Instead, it will build you. 3. Communicate with love and patience. Family is supposed to be the place where we feel the most understood. The place where we feel safe. The place where we feel supported. But sometimes, the people we love the most become the people we misunderstand the most. Small disagreements grow into big arguments. Simple conversations turn into emotional battles. Words are spoken in anger. And suddenly, the home that once felt peaceful feels heavy with tension. But here is something important to understand. Most family problems do not start with hate. They start with miscommunication. People stop listening. People start assuming. People speak with anger instead of understanding. And slowly, walls begin to grow between hearts that once trusted each other. Think about the last time a conflict happened in your family. Was it really about the issue itself? Or was it about how people spoke to each other? Many arguments are not about the real problem. They are about the tone of voice, the lack of patience, and the absence of listening. Because when people feel unheard, they raise their voices. When people feel misunderstood, they become defensive. And when people feel attacked, they stop opening their hearts. That is when communication breaks down. But here is the powerful truth. One person with patience can calm an entire storm. One calm voice can silence a room full of anger. One heart willing to listen can rebuild bridges that seemed impossible to repair. That person can be you. Because communication is not just about talking. Communication is about understanding. It is about listening not to reply, but to truly hear. It is about seeing the pain behind someone's words. Sometimes people speak with anger not because they hate you, but because they are hurting. Sometimes people say things they do not mean because they feel overwhelmed. And when emotions rise, patience becomes the most powerful tool you have. Imagine a fire. If you throw more fire on it, what happens? It grows bigger. But if you bring water, the fire begins to calm. Anger works the same way. Anger feeds anger, but patience weakens it. This is why speaking calmly is powerful. When everyone else is shouting, your calm voice becomes strength. When everyone else is reacting emotionally, your patience becomes leadership. And that does not mean you are weak. In fact, it means you are incredibly strong, because controlling your words when emotions are high takes real discipline. Anyone can shout, anyone can react. But not everyone can pause, breathe, and respond with wisdom. That is the power of patience. Think about the people who bring peace into families. They are not always the loudest people. They are often the calmest people. They listen more than they speak. They try to understand before judging. They bring clarity when everyone else is confused. And because of that, they become the bridge between hearts. You can become that person. It starts with a simple habit. Listen fully before responding. When someone in your family speaks, do not interrupt. Do not prepare your argument in your head. Just listen. Because sometimes people do not need solutions. Sometimes they just need to feel heard. And when someone finally feels heard, their anger often begins to disappear. Another powerful habit is choosing your words carefully. Words are powerful. They can heal, but they can also hurt deeply. A few seconds of anger can create wounds that last for years. But a few words of kindness can restore trust that was almost lost. So before speaking in a difficult moment, ask yourself one question. Will these words bring peace, or will they bring more pain? That single question can change the direction of a conversation. Love in communication is not just about saying, "I love you." It is about showing respect when emotions are high. It is about showing patience when others are frustrated. It is about choosing understanding over winning an argument. Because winning an argument but losing a relationship is not a real victory. Strong families are not the families that never argue. Strong families are the families that learn how to communicate through their disagreements. They learn how to disagree without disrespect. They learn how to express emotions without destroying trust. They learn how to listen with open hearts. And that is what keeps families together through difficult seasons. Sometimes you will need to be the patient one even when others are not. Sometimes you will need to stay calm even when emotions are rising around you. Sometimes you will need to listen even when you feel misunderstood. And yes, that can feel difficult. But remember something powerful. Great leaders in families are not those who control everyone. They are those who bring peace when chaos appears. They are those who calm storms instead of creating them. And every family storm eventually passes. But the way you communicate during that storm will shape the relationships for years to come. So choose patience, choose calm words, choose understanding, because sometimes the strongest thing you can say in the middle of conflict is not a powerful argument. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is simply, "I understand how you feel. I am listening. Let's solve this together." Those words have the power to rebuild connection. Those words have the power to restore trust. Those words have the power to turn conflict into growth. And when one person chooses communication with love and patience, the entire family environment begins to change. Slowly, quietly, but powerfully. So the next time tension rises in your home, pause. Take a breath and remember this truth. You do not have to add to the storm. You can be the calm inside it. Speak with love. Listen with patience. And you may discover that sometimes one peaceful voice can change an entire family. 4. Take care of yourself when a family is struggling. Something very common happens. Everyone focuses on the problems. Everyone tries to fix the situation. Everyone carries emotional weight. But in the middle of all that pressure, many people forget something very important. They forget themselves. They become so busy worrying about everyone else that they ignore their own emotional health. They carry stress silently. They hide their exhaustion. They push themselves harder and harder, believing that they must hold everything together. But eventually, something begins to happen. Their energy starts to disappear. Their patience becomes weaker. Their emotions become heavier. And slowly, they begin to feel overwhelmed. This is a truth many people learn too late. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give strength to others if you are completely exhausted inside. You cannot bring peace to your family if your own mind is full of stress. You cannot help others rise if you are constantly running on emotional emptiness. That is why taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. In fact, it is one of the most powerful things you can do for your family. Because when you protect your energy, you protect your ability to support the people you love. Think about a phone battery. If you use it all day without charging it, what happens? Eventually, the battery dies. No matter how important the call is, the phone simply cannot function. Human energy works the same way. If you give and give and give without rest, eventually your emotional battery runs out. And when that happens, even small problems start to feel overwhelming. That is why strong people learn the importance of recharging themselves. Rest is not weakness. Rest is preparation. Rest is recovery. Rest is strength rebuilding itself. When life becomes heavy at home, it is important to create small moments for yourself. Moments where your mind can breathe. Moments where your emotions can settle. Moments where you reconnect with your inner strength. Sometimes that means stepping away for a short walk. Sometimes that means sitting quietly and reflecting. Sometimes that means giving your mind a break from constant stress. These small moments are powerful because they allow your mind to reset. They allow your emotions to calm down. And they allow your strength to return. Reflection is also powerful. When family problems happen, emotions can move quickly. People react, people assume, people worry. But reflection gives you clarity. It allows you to step back and ask important questions. What am I feeling right now? What is the best way to respond to this situation? What kind of person do I want to be in this moment? These questions help you move from emotional reaction to thoughtful response. And that makes a huge difference. Taking care of yourself also means protecting your physical health. Your body and your mind are connected. When you sleep well, your mind becomes clearer. When you eat well, your energy becomes stronger. When you move your body, your stress becomes lighter. These simple habits create powerful results because a healthy body supports a strong mind. And a strong mind is essential when your family is going through challenges. Another important part of self-care is protecting your thoughts. When family struggles happen, negative thoughts can easily take over. Thoughts like everything is falling apart, I can't handle this, this will never get better, but these thoughts drain your strength. Instead, strong people train their minds to think differently. They remind themselves, this is a difficult season, not a permanent life. I will grow through this. I will stay strong for myself and for the people I love. These thoughts rebuild confidence. They rebuild hope. They rebuild emotional strength. And hope is powerful because hope gives you the courage to keep going even when things feel uncertain. When you take care of yourself, you also become a powerful example for your family. Your calmness brings stability. Your strength brings reassurance. Your patience brings peace. Sometimes families do not need someone who has all the answers. Sometimes they just need someone who remains strong when everything feels unstable. That strength begins with self-care. Because when you are mentally strong, emotionally balanced, and physically healthy, you become a pillar for the people around you. You become someone others can lean on. You become someone who brings light into difficult moments. And that is incredibly powerful. So if your family is going through a difficult time right now, Remember this. You are allowed to take care of yourself. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to rebuild your strength, because taking care of yourself is not abandoning your family. It is preparing yourself to support them better. It is making sure your mind remains clear. It is making sure your heart remains strong. And it is making sure your energy remains steady. So do not forget yourself in the middle of the struggle. Protect your peace. Protect your health. Protect your mindset. Because when you take care of yourself, you build the strength needed to help everyone else. And sometimes the most powerful way to support your family is by making sure you remain strong enough to stand. 5. Believe that hard times will pass. Every family, no matter how strong, faces storms. No family is perfect. Behind closed doors, every home has moments of struggle, moments of disagreement, moments of financial pressure, moments when emotions become heavy and hope feels distant. Sometimes those storms feel overwhelming. You may look around your home and wonder if things will ever feel peaceful again. You may ask yourself questions like, will things ever get better? Will our family ever feel happy again? Are we going to survive this difficult time? When you are standing inside a storm, it is easy to believe the storm will never end. But here is a powerful truth you must remember. Storms do not last forever. Rain may fall for hours. Thunder may shake the sky. Winds may feel powerful and uncontrollable. But eventually the storm passes, the sky clears, the sun returns, life moves forward again. Family struggles work the same way. Difficult seasons are part of life. But they are not the final chapter of your story. They are moments in time, and moments in time always change. Think about your life. There were probably moments in the past when things felt very difficult. Maybe you felt lost. Maybe you felt discouraged. Maybe you felt like things would never improve, but time moved forward. Situations changed. You grew stronger, and you survived those challenges. This is proof of something powerful. You are stronger than the difficult moments you face. And your family may be stronger than you realize as well. Hard times do not only test families. Sometimes they build families. Because when people face challenges together, they discover new strengths. They learn patience. They learn understanding. They learn how to support one another in ways they never did before. Difficult seasons reveal character. They reveal resilience. They reveal love that refuses to disappear even during hard moments. Many of the strongest families in the world were not built during easy times. They were built during challenges. They were built when people refused to give up on each other. They were built when hope was stronger than frustration. And hope is a powerful force. Hope does not ignore the problem. Hope simply believes that the problem is not permanent. Hope says, this situation is difficult, but it will not last forever. Hope says, we may be struggling today, but tomorrow can be different. Hope gives you the courage to keep moving forward even when the road feels uncertain. Because progress often happens slowly. Sometimes problems are not solved overnight. Sometimes healing takes time. Sometimes relationships take patience, but patience is not weakness. Patience is strength in motion. It is the ability to keep believing even when you cannot see the result yet. Imagine planting a tree. You plant the seed today, but tomorrow you do not see a tall tree. You do not see big branches. You do not see shade. Growth takes time. But if you keep watering the seed, if you keep caring for the soil, eventually the tree grows strong. Family healing works the same way. It takes patience. It takes effort. It takes time. But when people continue to care, communicate, and support each other, something powerful happens. Strength begins to grow. Trust begins to rebuild. Peace begins to return. That is why it is so important to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow, even when problems still exist. Even when emotions are heavy, movement creates change. Small steps create progress, and progress creates hope. Maybe your family is going through a difficult moment right now. Maybe things feel tense. Maybe conversations feel difficult. Maybe uncertainty feels heavy. But this moment is not the end. It is a chapter, and chapters change. The story continues. What matters most is how you move through this chapter. Do you lose hope? Do you give up? Or do you choose patience? Do you choose understanding? Do you choose to believe that brighter days are still ahead? Because strong families are not the ones who never struggle. Strong families are the ones who refuse to stop trying. They refuse to stop caring. They refuse to stop believing in each other. And that belief creates resilience. Resilience means standing strong even when things feel difficult. Resilience means choosing hope even when uncertainty appears. Resilience means trusting that better days are still coming. So when life feels heavy at home, remember this truth. Hard times are temporary. Difficult seasons eventually change. Storms always pass. And the people who stay hopeful, patient, and determined are the ones who come out stronger on the other side. One day you may look back at this difficult season, and instead of seeing only pain, you may see growth. You may see lessons. You may see strength that was built through struggle. Because sometimes the most powerful families are not the ones who never face storms. They are the ones who learn how to walk through the storm together, step by step, day by day, holding on to hope, believing that the rain will eventually stop. And when the sky finally clears, they realize something powerful. They did not just survive the storm. They became stronger because of it. In the end, every family will face storms. Moments of pain, moments of confusion, moments when everything feels like it's falling apart. But remember this powerful truth. Storms do not destroy strong people, they reveal them. If you control your mindset, if you focus on what you can control, if you communicate with love and patience, if you take care of yourself, and if you believe that hard times will pass, then no struggle will ever be strong enough to break your spirit. Because strong families are not built during easy days. They are built when people refuse to give up on each other during the hardest ones. So stay strong, stay patient, and keep moving forward. Because one day you will look back at this difficult season and realize it didn't destroy you, it made you stronger.